Periodically, I like to start some of these video blogs with just a word of thanks. There's so many of you on Twitter. There's so many of you that comment on the Affair Recovery website. And there's lots of people in other countries who message me, who watch these. And so I'm really taken back that this has impacted so many people. It's become great fun. It is hard work at times. But I just want to say thank you to so many of you who support this video blog, who reach out and really seem to enjoy it. And with that, today I want to talk about a principle that I believe is a universal principle that we deal with in life, but especially in infidelity. And that's really what we choose to do with the pain that we are in. I mean, if you're struggling with infidelity, it's going to hurt like hell. The pain radiates through every area of your life, every cell within your being. I mean, you can't go a day without feeling some form of pain due to infidelity for at least probably somewhere between a year and as many as 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 years maybe, depending on the help that you've received. What I want to do today is talk about a choice we have when it comes to the pain that we deal with in infidelity, as well as what pain kind of does for us and in us, especially when we're dealing with the pain from infidelity. I think if you're on this blog, you're probably old enough to understand when it comes to great pain, we have a choice. I mean, if we're not careful and if we don't use the right approach, the staggering pain that we wade through every day can mold us into a bitter, angry, no fun to be around, grieving person. I mean, if we're not careful, even for the unfaithful, because we've brought a lot of pain into our life because of our choices. And so whether you're unfaithful or whether you're betrayed, if you don't know how to deal with pain, and if we don't make the choice to resist what pain wants to turn us into, which is a bitter, angry, inconsolable, mean person, if you will, we will turn out that way. And so today I want to address a few things about pain that I think will really help you in your recovery. The first thing pain does for us is it makes us very malleable. I'll never forget, it was about 2 or 3 weeks after disclosure, and I was talking to one of my only friends, and he was a best friend, and I had come to a point where I had sobered up and realized, to a certain extent, not fully, what a jerk I had been. You know, big, powerful man, and how I had just wrecked a lot of lives, and how I had been such a jerk because I had risen to the top of the corporate ministry ladder. And I was talking to him, and I said, man, why didn't you tell me what a jerk I was? Why didn't you kind of sit me down and say, dude, you're blowing it? And he said to me, you were so unreachable. You wouldn't have heard me. You couldn't hear me. I tried a little bit. You were surrounded by all these powerful leaders and pro athletes and pastors and all that crap. I couldn't get to you. You had insulated yourself so well. You weren't ready to hear anything that I had to say to you. Not on that level, anyway. And I'll tell you, when we're in pain, we're malleable. We're open to correction. We're open to adjustments. We are flexible in every area of our life, our persona, our mentality, our approach, our marriage, our child rearing. I mean, when we're hurting, when we're in pain, man, we are finally at a point where we're open to say, okay, and if we come from faith, we can say, man, God, what are you trying to do in me? What needs to change? If we don't come from faith, we're at least open to say, you know what changes do I need to make in my life? Number 2, pain teaches us something about what I just would say BS. I mean, the other day I was in the car and I was talking to someone and he had said something that I was just completely off, and I just said, look, good luck with that, because that doesn't work, and here's why that doesn't work. And I was pretty matter of fact. Something in me just kind of clicked, and I said, that's a bunch of bull, and here's why. And when I was done, and again, this was a friend, he said, you're absolutely right. That was kind of a shotgun approach. I said, yeah, I'm sorry, but that kind of crap just is not true. And it's very true. When you've suffered greatly, when you've been through an incredible amount of pain, your ability to detect crap is off the chart. So when somebody hands out these platitudes or somebody kind of throws out these, forgive me, but this religious conversation of, oh, well, just keep smiling. It's like, no, hold on. I'm going to do more than just keep smiling at the gut-wrenching pain I'm going through. Or when the other day I was talking to someone and he said, man, part of me wants to just, not being so involved with my kids and just go work. And if I can just work and make money and put my marriage and kids on the side for a while, I think everybody would just be happier with more money. And I said, yeah, good luck with that. And here's why. I live that way. It's not going to work. That's a load of crap. And all that's doing is fulfilling your own self-righteousness, and it's going to leave your kids and your family in the dark. And if you want more trouble in your kids, leave them alone longer. You want more trouble in your kids, immerse yourself in work even more than you already are, pal, because I know what that's going to do. And he said, whoa, okay. And I'll tell you, when you've gone through great pain and you allow it to mold you and shape you in a positive way, you detect BS very quickly. You see through the fog very quickly. Another thing pain did for me is it brought me back down to earth. It made me relatable to people, and I was no longer the guy handing out platitudes or, doling out these one-liner scriptures of just get over it and just power through and suck it up and all that stuff, and it made me go, oh, hold on. And I was talking to my mentor about a year into recovery, and I said, do you ever think I'll minister again? Do you ever think I'll be a pastor again? Or do you ever think I'll have a voice again? And I kid you not, I can remember everything about this moment. But he looked at me and he said, for the first time, you're going to be more relatable. You're going to be able to empathize with people genuinely. You're not going to be looking down upon people. You're going to be eye to eye with people. And now you can relate to what real pain is like. And it struck me, and I'll tell you, great pain will do that. It brings you out of the clouds of this deception and the self-righteousness and that everything is just great, and it brings you back down to street-level theology and street-level humanity where you can look into the eyes of someone and no longer live in these pretenses of everything's just great and I don't have any problems, and you can relate to the common man, common woman, and get on the same level with them. You see, pain is a common denominator in life. It shreds this self-righteousness that we love, and I was an expert at. It shreds this high and loftiness of, I have it all together and everything's good because I live in this kind of house or drive this kind of car or went to that school. I'm sorry, pain really levels the playing field. And if you let it, pain is going to bring you to a point where you're able to go, yeah, good for you. I'm glad about all those things, but let's talk about what hurts, because what hurts us is in many ways what can unite us. And with great suffering, with great sorrow, is going to come a great appreciation for life. It'll bring a great unity with people where you can relate to them and not look down upon them in such a way where you say, well, you're in pain because of your fault, and if you would just empower yourself. I'm sorry. Great pain, great suffering brings us to the core of who we are and reintroduces us to ourselves, our greatness and our diabolicalness, if you will. You see, with great pain, we're constantly offered the opportunity to be molded into either someone who's going to love deeply and love greatly and eventually, love life and love people, or someone who's going to hate deeply and hate people and constantly see the negative side and constantly see the pain that we've been through and remain a victim and allow ourselves to be victimized and constantly self-sabotage ourselves. It's just a choice that we're given. It takes time. It takes the right help. I'm not talking about a week or a month. I'm talking about sometimes years to get through it and get to the other side of pain. But we are offered the choice every day when we're in great pain. I have learned through incredible suffering, all I can do is change my attitude and change my approach. I can't change people. I can empower myself and I can draw some boundaries, but I can't change them. All I can do is move towards acceptance in life. And where you're at right now, you're probably dealing with incredible pain. And I want you to know that it's not going to be like this forever. But I want to just appeal to you to not let that pain warp you, to not let that pain constantly move you away from love. Because I will tell you, the great suffering, and so many of you are dealing with real street-level suffering that you're going to have to fight back. You're going to have to fight back a bit against anger, against hopelessness, against despair, against the desire to quit, against the desire to give up, against the desire to utilize vengeance, against the desire to just throw in the towel. I know, I have been there, I understand it. But I want to tell you that if you will allow the pain to do some of the things I've talked about today, it's going to bring great beauty out of your life. It's going to bring great joy out of your life. And in a season, you're going to be those people that you're looking to now to bring joy and to bring clarity and to bring healing and to bring perspective. You're going to be one of those healers. You're going to be able to give back to other people in suffering and relate to them and empathize with them and be on the same level with them, regardless of how much money you make or don't make or how big your house is or isn't or what have you. You're going to be able to be a bright light in a very dark, painful world.